This is the knockout artist, Chris Hero. And if you're looking for some true heel heat, you better listen to them boys.
Hello everyone, it's the hardcore legend Mick Foley wishing a nice day to everyone there, right there at True Heel Heat. Yeah!
Hey guys, it's Dan Rosa and welcome to True Heel Heat.
Rob Van Dam, listen to True Heel Heat. Pow!
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with True Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Romeo's Twitter for our NJPW King of Pro Wrestling 2024 preview. And the question is, can Zack Sabre Jr. bring it home? Of course, we are talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. So y'all know what time it is. Back for the second time this week, doing double duty this week because we got major shows from All Elite Wrestling, from New Japan Pro Wrestling. So I got the MC, the Master of Ceremonies for the past, present, and future of New Japan Pro Wrestling here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. He is my brother, J-News. How are you doing, good sir?
Doing all right, brother. Doing all right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good brother J-News, and we're back at it again. We're talking that New Japan goodness today, folks. Talking about that goodness. King of Pro Wrestling going down this Monday on the 14th of October. I was laughing before I got on because I just saw something on my Twitter, and Stokely Hathaway made me laugh. So, just wanted to put that out there. I guess he owes Chris Statlander a massive sum of money. So the storyline continues. But yeah, man, I think that if we're all on the same page, SP3, I think we all wanted to come home this coming Monday. And it should go down that way. And if it doesn't go down that way, I'm going to be a pissed off New Japan fan. Let's be real. I don't feel that where the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship has been this year has been in great standing, should I say? But we will get there when we get there. The hope is that we get the moment that we've been clamoring for quite some time.
Indeed. We are looking for the moment of all moments, what the G1 climax 34 tournament was all about, and we need to see it here. But let's talk about the show, and we appreciate y'all if you're joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. Let's drop the thumbs up on this video. Let's share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, sound off in the live chat. You know us here at the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. We love to interact with all of you and hear your thoughts on the major shows. We do pay-per-view previews for WWE, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA Wrestling. Coming up in a few weeks, we'll be previewing Bound for Glory, the biggest show of the year for TNA Wrestling. We even will dabble in some Stardom, some Marigold, some Noah we have this year in 2024. So hit the playlist for our pay-per-view previews, because we always got previews for all of those major shows coming up. But we are here to talk some New Japan Pro Wrestling, so sound off in the live chat with your predictions on the card. If you're watching us on demand, you can let us know in the comments down below. And of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here and show your support to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, you can do it in the best way possible. Hit the $sign and send a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here, and we always appreciate that kind of support. But yes, NJPW King of Pro Wrestling 2024 this coming Monday, 9 a.m. East, 9 a.m. GMT for me in the UK, 4 a.m. Eastern, and it's 12 a.m. over on the Pacific Coast. So not the latest. Not, usually in New Japan we'll have shows starting at like 2, 3 a.m. So this one is not that late, but 4 a.m. kind of a very early start, but plenty of professional wrestling. This is one of the best cards New Japan has put together since like Wrestle Kingdom. Honestly, when you look at it top to bottom, we always start off our pay-per-view previews with our 0 to 10. What is your hype level, your buzz level for King of Pro Wrestling? We went pretty low between the two of us for Wrestle Dream. I think by the end of our Wrestle Dream preview, I was at about a 7, because I was like, yeah, a lot of these matches could deliver. So I started off as a 6, ended off as a 7. For King of Pro Wrestling, though, I'm at a high 8.5. What about you?
I was gonna say I'm at an 8, just because I don't to use a phrase, I don't want to blow my load. At the end of the day, it's years of fandom and getting behind the guy at this point, and wanting what's best for him in his career and all that jazz, and just a shift in the mentality of New Japan, even if it's temporary, to see as to where they can go. So I'm at a strong 8. The card is strong, as you stated before. A lot of good matches that have been booked for the show so far. Yeah, man, I'm buzzing. It's one of those shows where I really thought about watching it live, because I never watched New Japan live, so I didn't want to get I didn't feel like I wanted to be behind the 8 ball, but then I was like 4 a.m. Nah, I ain't doing that, Jack. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'll watch it when I wake up on the day of. So,
fair. That's also fair. You could start live and then just go back. You can start live. You can start live if you wake up at 6, 7 a.m. You catch the main matches, and then you can start from the beginning after, or do it, or just start from the beginning. I don't know how you want to do it, but yes, we got a lot to discuss with this card. 9-match card coming up this Monday in Ryogoku Sumo Hall, and I think Ryogoku is part of the reason why I went the half. I gave the half because Ryogoku is one of the best places for a New Japan show.
Yeah, I think from a production standpoint, from the way that they build out the entrances and the lighting and everything else in between, and that crowd's always live, man. So I always like it when they go to Ryogoku. So yeah. I'm anticipating this day, man. I'm trying to see as to how they make it all work, and I don't want to come on here and threaten Gato, but at the end of the day, it's one of those, do the right thing, Gato. Do the right thing. So.
Oh, we got Dolores in the chat with us, the good sister, saying hey. She also is our shameless plugger. We appreciate you for that. She says, join THH Patreon and channel. Best money you will spend. I'm coming up with some new content to do over on Patreon. I might start doing live match watch-alongs, like classic matches. I'm starting to think of different stuff that I can do for on Patreon to show our support for, all the people that show us love over there. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. So coming up with different stuff for me to do instead of kind of the occasional sporadic stuff I've been doing over the last couple of months, trying to give you consistent content over at Patreon. So yes, good time to help us out over there and become a Patreon backer. But let's talk about King of Pro Wrestling 2024, Ryogoku Sumo Hall this Monday, October 14th. You have the opening matchup on the card as scheduled. It's going to be Hiromu Takahashi one-on-one with CMLL's own Mystico. It was at Mystico's anniversary show this past summer. Mystico went one-on-one with Hiromu Takahashi in what I thought was an excellent bout in the main event in Arena Mexico. But it was Mystico in the 2 out of 3 falls matchup who picked up a win, getting a victory over Hiromu. Hiromu has been trying to right some wrongs as he is on the road to Wrestle Kingdom, where it's a little bit different for Hiromu Takahashi. He doesn't have all his attention on the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. More of his attention is on getting a long-desired matchup with Tetsuya Naito, and he wants that matchup at the Tokyo Dome at Wrestle Kingdom. If he can't get it there, he wants it at Wrestle Dynasty. He just wants his match with Naito that was denied of him pre-pandemic, and he wants to follow through on that 4 years later, but he has to right some wrongs and get his win back against Mystico before then here at King of Pro Wrestling. What do you think about this match that was added to the card at Destruction in Kobe, and what do you expect? Who do you have winning?
At the end of the day, this is one of those surefire banger international matches, as they like to sometimes add to their bigger card. So here we go. The current Mexican wrestling legend that is Mystico will go one-on-one with Hiromu Takahashi here. As you said, it seems like Hiromu doesn't have his eyes on the prize. It seems like he has other intentions going into Wrestle Kingdom season. But I do see, since he did get the loss against Mystico earlier in the year, that he will get his win back here. And it should propel him as to wherever he ends up going for Wrestle Kingdom. Not necessarily going to guarantee that he faces off with Naito at Wrestle Kingdom, just due to whatever the end result of the main event on this particular night is going to be. But it should be a banger. Hiromu and Mystico have great chemistry in the ring. Definitely want to see as to how far they take it or how serious the match will be to start off the show. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm looking forward to it just because it's Hiromu, it's Mystico, so we should see some good high-flying action. And folks will be starting off in a good way here at King of Pro Wrestling.
Indeed. I'm going to go with Hiromu Takahashi to pick up the victory here, get his win back. Do you think we're going to get Hiromu and Naito at Wrestle Kingdom come January?
I don't know, man. I don't know. There's just been it's been too much. From a Hiromu perspective, it's been different talking points in several years for Wrestle Kingdom matches, right? It's been he wants to be the main event as the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. That's never happened. Now he wants his match versus Naito. Is that going to happen? Will Naito even walk into Wrestle Kingdom as the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion? Who knows? Is it going to be a special singles match? I don't necessarily know, but I don't necessarily think, even if that all goes down, that unless they start a feud of substance, right, and it just not be tranquilo all the way until Wrestle Kingdom, I don't think it'll matter. So for all intents and purposes, I don't think Hiromu's going to get his match against Naito. Hiromu will get his match against, I don't know, whoever Gato sees fit, I guess, at that time. But
Because it's not just him. You got Shingo Takagi, who wants the matchup against Naito at Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen in the main event. He may be the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, but since the G1 winner is taking his opportunity at this show, the field is wide open for who could face Naito, who could face the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion.
Absolutely. So I don't know, man.
But we're both going with Hiromu here.
Yeah, for the win.
Right?
For the win on this budget.
All right. Next up, we got our first title match on the card. It's going to be the Bullet Club War Dogs, represented by Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney, defending the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships against former champions, the Intergalactic Jet Setters, Kushida and Kevin the Jet Knight. Is Kushida's return to New Japan Pro Wrestling since the Best of Super Juniors tournament. You have here, this matchup was set up thanks to Kevin Knight's win back at Capital Collision when he got a pinfall victory over Clark Connors in a 6-man tag team matchup. This is his opportunity that he earned for his team with Kushida here. Kushida making his return. This has the makings to be a good matchup. These guys have great chemistry with one another. They faced each other numerous different times. It was, I believe, the Bullet Club War Dogs who beat the Intergalactic Jet Setters in a previous title opportunity when their first reign. But this is their second reign. They've had the titles for a while. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a title change here. But what do you think?
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a title change here either. I was thinking that just while you were talking, just because that's what Gato likes to do. The hot potato with the belts. It just doesn't make much sense. They just came back, to be honest, if we're doing the logical thing. The Intergalactic Jet Setters just coming back and then winning the tag belts. It's like, what are we doing? So at this point, I would like it for the Bullet Club War Dogs, the Junior War Dogs, to get a feud going with some tag team. I know that the Junior Tag League is coming anyways, so it's like they've got stuff. They're gonna have stuff to do, and it's gonna be based around them and how they compete and things of that nature. So I don't think they lose here. I think they eventually lose to whoever the winner of the Junior Tag League is gonna be, to be quite honest. And or whatever tag team ends up pinning them during a round of the tag league. So I don't think they lose here though. I think that the War Dogs get the win here against the Intergalactic Jet Setters, which will then put the Intergalactic Jet Setters in a specific in a specific perspective for fans, and then maybe they'll go into World Tag League, Junior Tag League with some sort of axe to grind. And they beat it out. Who knows? But for right now, the War Dogs, they my dogs for real still. They'll win the match.
I'm going to actually go with the title change. I'll go with the Intergalactic Jet Setters because I don't see any team that stands out to me as far as going into the Super Junior Tag League that should win or could win. So I would think you put the titles on the Intergalactic Jet Setters for the Bullet Club War Dogs to win their first World Tag League.
I guess that makes sense because I forgot that the War Dogs haven't won World Tag League for the juniors. Yeah, I guess that makes a roundabout story, right? I don't know. I just feel like being that the Jet Setters just came back, it's like, oh, that kind of defeats the purpose. You know what I'm saying? But it is you're right.
I mean, they've come back in the past and didn't win the big matchup for the titles. So I would think that them coming in, you want to give Kushida something because you want to keep Kushida strong. And I don't know. I can see this happening, but I also I can see the Bullet Club War Dog. This is kind of a toss-up type prediction, but I'm gonna go with the Jet Setters to become the new champions.
Yeah, I think that at some, I'm not sure if it was recent history or not, where the junior tag champions have won Junior Tag League. Maybe that's something that the War Dogs can do, and just have banger matches up and down the tournament. But yeah, Kushida and the Jet winning right now doesn't make much sense to me, which is why I'm going with the War Dogs.
Also fair. Then we got the IWGP World Tag Team Championships up for grabs as you have TMDK, Shane Haste, Mikey Nichols versus the Bullet Club Rogue Army, represented by Bad Luck Fale and Caveman Unk. I don't know who Caveman Unk is. I have not watched what is it? Tamagotchi?
Yeah.
New Japan Tamagotchi, which apparently they've been building this matchup and building this duo of Bad Luck Fale and Caveman together. But I mean, hey, I'm gonna watch it. I'm willing to give it a chance. But Bad Luck Fale in an IWGP World Tag Team title match, it's just I get PTSD of when they put the titles on him and Chase Owens for like a week, a couple of weeks, and it was still too long. I'm gonna go with TMDK to get the victory here. I need to catch up on Tamagotchi to really kind of have the build and the knowledge of that.
Yeah, I don't have much knowledge on that either. I know that Caveman Ugg has been on recent Road 2 shows, so I'm not necessarily too up on his game either. But Bad Luck Fale is here to introduce to the New Japan faithful people coming out of his dojo. So at the end of the day, this is what this is all about. But I do see TMDK, the hysterical Shane Haste, and the one and only Mikey Nichols retaining their championships here, as they also have to stay strong because the World Tag League is coming up. So they might as well retain the championships and get new challengers through the tournament that way. So,
yeah, I'm hoping they have more. I mean, hey, I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping for the best because this is not up to par with what TMDK offers.
No, it's not. But it depends on. It depends. I mean, the New Japan tag team scene has always been a mixed match of different heavyweights together, right? It's never necessarily been the natural or the not natural, but the organic tag teams, right? In a sense. So TMDK being, an organic tag team, quote unquote, to tag them on that, maybe they should have, guys who've been together for a longer period of time take on them and have better in-ring chemistry. I'm not too sure how this Fale and Caveman Ugg thing came about, but it is. But I mean, I know how it came about, but for all intents and purposes, they haven't been a team long enough to justify a title win. Maybe we have some talent exchange over from AEW. They've got some tag teams that don't get any work that can come over to New Japan for a little bit. So, maybe that's a possibility and stuff like that. Maybe a GYV, Gates of Agony like last year. They were really popular in New Japan for World Tag League. So maybe they make a comeback this year. Give us something different because at the end of the day, what's been going on lately outside of TMDK, and outside of TMDK and Goto and Yoshihashi. I'm forgetting the team name right now. But those have been probably the most prolific tag teams in New Japan.
Bishamon,
there you go. They have been the most prolific tag team in recent New Japan history. Yeah. So, yeah.
I think we're gonna have to swing back to that probably by the time we get to like World Tag League. I mean, they can't have Bishamon win fucking what is it like four World Tag League.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Yeah, no. Give us something new.
I'm trying to think who would you have win World Tag League at this point? If TMDK are going to be the champion, it seems like we're probably going to get more title defenses from both of these tag titles before the end of the year. Maybe more the IWGP Junior of the IWGP World Tag Team titles. I think they will be defended again probably at Power Struggle. So there is a chance we can have a title change there before World Tag League. But I kind of feel like we should have a title change because this is another case where I think that the current champions should be like probably the top candidate to win the tournament. the tag tournament.
Yeah, they kind of put themselves in a corner with both tag team divisions in that way. So it's like I don't necessarily, just because there's not enough of either of there's not enough competition within those relative divisions. There's no real variety in that sense, right? So it's like, if you take the belts off of them now, to your point, they can fight up the mountain and regain the championships and stuff like that or whatever. I just want a little, new blood or something like that, or maybe they bring back the Young Boys for World Tag League. Oscar Lloyd Bay,
Young Blood,
and yeah, there you go, Oscar Lloyd Bay and the dude that I never necessarily got my teeth into, Nakashima, stuff like that. Maybe we bring them back for the sake of having all the all the current crop of young lions back in New Japan. They just became WXW tag champs in recent weeks.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I think it was I think Nakashima was recently injured, and then he came back, and then they won these championships, whatever cases. So that's pretty cool. That's exactly, that's pretty cool for them. So if they come into World Tag League as WXW champs, and they get that wave of momentum going, maybe that's something they can ride for NJPW in that sense, and get TMDK a run for their money. Like I said, maybe some AEW talent coming in as a tag team to see if they throw some variety in there. Yeah, man, that's really
FTR. FTR has never done a World Tag League, and they're not doing anything particularly on AEW television.
I'm never going to be against FTR and tag team anything. I have been on this channel for years, basically with how long I've been watching professional wrestling, saying that I feel like FTR is basically the best tag team I've ever seen. So if they go to New Japan's World Tag League, I'm for it. I just don't think it's going to happen. That's just me. So that's where I'm at with that. But that would be cool. That'd be cool.
I agree with you there. What's up, I Make Beats? Great to see you in the chat. If you're with us, drop a like on the video, help the YouTube algorithms, and sound off in the live chat with your predictions and thoughts on this card for King of Pro Wrestling. But here we go. This is one of the top matches I'm looking forward to on this card. It will be for the Never Openweight Championship. Shingo Takagi will defend against Ryohei Uiwa. Uiwa made his return to New Japan Pro Wrestling back at Destruction in Kobe after a very noteworthy run in Pro Wrestling Noah during his quote-unquote excursion, and he joined up with TMDK, joining Zack Sabre Jr. and Kosei Fujita in a victory over Just Five Guys. From there, though, we had later in the card, it was Shingo Takagi who won his fifth Never Openweight Championship, defeating Hanare in another hard-hitting battle between the two men. Shingo Takagi then had his sights set on the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship and tried to interrupt the challenge from Zack Sabre Jr. to Tetsuya Naito and throw his hat in the race. But it was Ryohei Uiwa who said, no, sir, you got a title that I want, and I'm challenging you for the Never Openweight Championship on my first night back in New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is a very important bout for Uiwa, kind of showing how much he's progressed during his time in Noah. So what do you think about the build to this matchup here? And what do you think about Uiwa's first big test in New Japan Pro Wrestling post-excursion?
This is where I'm going to take a page out of your book, SP3. Yes, your book. Put the rocket strap on this young man and have him beat the best IWGP World Heavyweight Champion that's ever existed. You make sure that Ryohei Uiwa becomes the New Japan Pro Wrestling Never Openweight Champion here, to make sure that people understand that these kids going on excursion means something, goddammit. So and he by surprise, hook or crook, takes it to the main man, and for all intents and purposes, it should be a dope ass match. But I think for whatever reason, not that he's gonna like roll him up or something like that, but he's going to catch the Rampage Dragon off guard and make and get the big victory here, and this will be a shining moment, one of many in the future to come for Ryohei Oiwa here at King of Pro Wrestling.
I mean, you used my argument against me here because I don't know if I can bet against Shingo Takagi. I did not expect Shingo Takagi to regain the Never Openweight Championship at Destruction in Kobe. We did the predictions, and I went with Hanare. Shingo caught me by surprise by getting his fifth reign with the Never Openweight Championship, and I just think that it's just smart money to have Shingo Takagi holding some type of championship going into Wrestle Kingdom season. He's the type of guy that you can give him one of the titles, and he's guaranteed to have a great match in the Tokyo Dome. So,
but at the same time, the Rampage Dragon still puts on terrific matches without gold. You know what I'm saying?
He does.
So, you know,
he does. But New Japan Pro Wrestling, we know New Japan Pro Wrestling. We follow the game.
Yeah.
If you don't got a title during Wrestle Kingdom season, there's no guarantee you're going to get a singles match.
This is very true. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm just going for the surprise win. I'm going for the shift that we've been all looking for the younger talent and things of that nature, especially with the way that Oiwa's excursion's been talked up at the end of the day. So I think it makes sense in that way. You can always take the title off of Oiwa before Wrestle Kingdom anyways, and give it back to Shingo if they need to go like, you know, a 2 out of 3 or best of 5 series type thing. You know what I'm saying? If they need to do that. But at the end of the day, I think he just for shits and giggles, not for shits and giggles, but it will cement Oiwa's comeback from excursion to beat such a prolific professional wrestler on his first singles match back, because they weren't able to do it with Suge. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, they got to do it with somebody. So this makes sense to me in my head. So I'm going with that.
I respect it. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did strap the rocket to Oiwa, because he's so good. He's so good. He's got the muscle. I think he does need to trim down a little bit, because I think that some of his moves and the stuff that he does would look even more impressive if he slimmed down just a bit. He feels like he got too much muscle on him a little bit, but we'll see how his body progresses, how his training progresses now that he's back in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But for this matchup, I think I'm going to stick with my guns. I'm going to stick with Shingo Takagi to retain.
It's never a bad.
And a great match.
Yeah, it's going to be a great match. It's never a bad bet to go with Shingo Takagi. But you know, for this particular one, I'm going to take a page out of your book. So.
Fair. Speaking of the aforementioned Yota Tsuji, Suge will be challenging Jeff Cobb once again for the NJPW World Television Championship, but this time it will be in a three-way 15-minute time limit TV title match with the House of Torture's Ren Narita. This all came to be when Tsuji and Cobb went at it for the NJPW World Television Championship on the road to destruction. They went to a 15-minute time limit in what was a very good main event matchup. Post-match, it looked like the two men wanted to continue their rivalry, but it was Ren Narita who injected himself into the festivities, knocking out both men with the push-up bar, and made his intentions known that he wants the NJPW World Television Championship, a title that he has been chasing since he lost in the finals of the original tournament to crown the first champion against Zack Sabre Jr. at Wrestle Kingdom 17 in 2023. Is it time for Ren Narita to finally win singles gold in New Japan Pro Wrestling? Is it time for Yota Tsuji to finally win singles gold in New Japan Pro Wrestling, or will Cobb's reign continue? What do you think, James?
I expect this to be a decent match. Reason as to why I say decent isn't because of Tsuji, and it's not because of Jeff Cobb. I mean, Ren Narita and the House of Torture tactic stuff, Look, guys, I get it. I'm talking to you, New Japan. I'm talking to you, Gato. I'm talking to you, Dick Togo. Stop the madness. Stop the madness. Give us a straight up wrestling match. We don't get enough of these three-way matches on New Japan for all intents and purposes. And when they do go down, they're usually very good. So let's keep it that way.
Let's keep the trend, please.
Let's keep the trend of good matches, good three-way matches. I, for one, out of fandom, am going to go with Big Suge because I want Big Suge to get some championship gold here and finally get the win over Jeff Cobb if he can. But I'm just afraid, SP3. I'm afraid that this match is going to end up in a way where I'm just going to be screaming at my screen and just cursing at some man, and I'll probably go on my first ever Twitter tirade if that happens. And I have a bad feeling that that's going to happen, but I'm going to go with Big Suge to put that out into the universe. And Big Suge needs the gold. Big Suge needs to be coronated at some point in time. He's had a great year. Give him something. Big Suge for the win here in this three-way, SP3. Don't fail me, SP3. Don't fail me.
Well, J-News, I respect your opinion.
Fair.
And I, like you, have a strong hatred for House of Torture.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But you do know what I have a strong hatred for as well. It's something that I did tell you about on AEW or AEW Wrestle Dream 2024 preview. Check it out if you haven't already. Mm-hmm. I have a hatred for being wrong on these predictions.
Yeah.
My love of being right
I get
makes me put my Gato booking hat on and I ask myself,
God, no.
WWGD, what would Gato do? Just like I said on our Wrestle Dream preview, Chris Jericho beating Mark Briscoe for the Ring of Honor World Championship. I have to begrudgingly go with a new champion here. And I think Ren Narita is that new champion. Because in Gato's mind, you put the title on Ren Narita, he holds it for just a few months, and then Tsuji gets his big moment on the bigger stage of Wrestle Kingdom. And that's where he beats Narita for the NJPW World Television Championship.
You know what it is, man? You know what it is? Sometimes the stage isn't what makes the match. It's the combatants that make the match.
Also,
so for all intents and purposes, I am going to stick with my guns, and I'm going to say Big Suge walks away with the championship here. Let me tell you how this unfolds, right? He doesn't pin Jeff Cobb. He pins Ren Narita, right?
Okay.
Because then that way, Jeff Cobb has a claim to tell Tsuji, you didn't beat me. And we can then have the ultimate best of 3 or best of 5, whatever, if they want to go that way. One-on-one, Jeff Cobb, Tsuji, Wrestle Kingdom, because that's the money match. Ain't no money in Ren Narita. Ain't no money there. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no amount of corrective booking going to correct the path that they've put Ren Narita on. Ain't no amount of wins.
In Tsuji's mind, he's like, hey, in Gato's mind, he's like, hey guys, look, I'm giving 2 of the 3 musketeers, the 2 of the 3 that don't try to be Mr. Steal Your Girl, I'm giving them their first singles titles.
Nah, man. See, because at the end of the day, if you really wanted to spotlight all the young guys, right? All the young guys, right? You make Suge champion. Like I said, you make Oiwa champion, right? And if you have a need to put Ren Narita elsewhere, you can put Ren Narita in the never open weight, have him take on Oiwa down the road. It's the
no.
Yeah.
The right place. We all know the right place for Ren Narita to get his first title is King of Pro Wrestling.
No, absolutely not.
If not at the pay-per-view, then he should go for the King of Pro Wrestling title.
Oh, okay. What? Damn. Okan still got it, right?
Yeah, Okan still got it.
Damn, man. I mean, I guess. I guess.
Oh man, we got Nicky boy, Negro Buck Nick Jackson in the chat. Good to see you, good brother. He says SP3 sounds like my ex-girlfriend. She always hated being wrong. I'm a Taurus, Nicky boy. We Taurus hate being wrong. We'd love to be right. So sorry, House of Torture haters. They're gonna win one at least. One of these. Because I don't see them winning this one, as it's going to be a trios matchup, Hiroshi Tanahashi's 20th anniversary, as it's going to be Hiroshi Tanahashi teaming up with Shota Umino and El Phantasmo to versus the House of Torture's Evil, Yujiro Takahashi and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. This all came to be when Tanahashi teamed up with Bolton Oleg and Toriyano to retain the never openweight six-man tag team championships against the House of Torture at Destruction in Kobe. After months of the mind games against El Phantasmo and Evil in the gang trying to bring him into the fold at House of Torture during the G1 Climax 34 final event, ELP chose his side officially by joining up with Hontai, helping out Tanahashi to get the victory in the six-man tag team title match. And now he teams with Tanahashi along with his good friend, the man that tried to keep him on the side of good, Shota Umino, to verse the House of Torture in this match here. I like the focus on El Phantasmo and his ability to do exceptional character work. I think that his character work was top-notch. Number one as far as the G1 Climax throughout that tournament, and I love that they're continuing that as we head into the Wrestle Kingdom season. But who do you think gets the win here?
To be honest, just out of plain in-ring wrestling sense, House of Torture gets the win here. Being that El Phantasmo, the Prez, and Shota Umino aren't necessarily the most cohesive of teams. They're going to be put together for the first time in a match of certain stakes here. But the House of Torture always runs together all the time, man. No matter what configuration of the House of Torture there is, they're all on the same page. So I would say out of all these matches, and I usually never pick the House of Torture, but out of wrestling sense, out of pro wrestling sense, I have to pick the House of Torture for the win here because they are the more united trio of this match.
Well, this is Tanahashi's anniversary matchup. So,
is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are we not getting a Tana anniversary show?
Apparently not. Apparently his first event was King of Pro Wrestling, so he just has an anniversary match at the King of Pro Wrestling show. So I think that Tanahashi should get the win.
Jesus,
if it's an anniversary match,
got an anniversary show. Blue Justice got an anniversary show. Tana don't get an anniversary show. Come on,
man. They gave El Phantasmo. It wasn't even his anniversary. They gave him a whole damn show. You tell me, Tada's a giving president. He's a giving president. He's like, I don't need the ego stroke of my own show. I already booked the damn thing. I hope Gato now. I'm the president.
Yeah, damn. All right, man. Look, at the end of the day, right? But no, man. You know, I never picked the House of Torture, but like I said, it's wrestling sense. It has nothing to do with character work. It's got nothing to do with the team. You guys know I hate Evil. I can't stand him. At the end of the day, Yujiro Takahashi serves no purpose anymore, man. He ain't even a pimp no more. You know what I'm saying? And Kanemaru is Kanemaru. I'm never gonna disrespect the heel master, but at the end of the day, he's part of the House of Torture, so he gets thrown into the shuffle. But at the end of the day,
who has more use for their cane, MVP or Yujiro Takahashi?
MVP has pimp energy, so MVP has more use for the cane.
Stand on business. Standing on business here. All right, let's go into our final stretch here, our final three matches for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. It's going to be Doki versus another member of the House of Torture. They're all over this card. This is 3 matches straight. Gato, you're a madman. 3 matches straight, really? Doki will defend against former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Sho. It was at Destruction in Kobe that Doki picked up a victory against Yoshinobu Kanemaru of the House of Torture in a very good matchup. Post-match, Sho stole his IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship and held it hostage, saying that he was going to break the title if he did not get a shot at Doki. Doki accepted the challenge and views Sho as another obstacle in his quest to become the newest ace of the junior heavyweight division, which led to Sho giving him back the title, but then blasting him with the wrench upside the head. Of course, Sho and Doki have faced in the past, but the win-loss record is ridiculous. I talked about it in our Destruction in Kobe review. This dude Sho is 5-0 against Doki. He has swept them and then won the season series as well. Like we need Doki to overcome this demon. So I'm going with Doki for the win. But J-News, what did you think about the build to this matchup, and who do you think wins?
The build is fine. It's usual House of Torture bullshit for the build, right? Stealing belts and hitting people with foreign objects and all that jazz. And now we're worried Doki's not going to get the win because he has to face off at the House of Torture and Sho's always up to no good and all that stuff. I've got something to say. We know Gato watches the show.
Friend of the channel, Gato.
Friend of the channel. Who else is on this card, SP3? Not this match, but who else is on the overall card that I've been calling for to have this match where they're going to actually legitimize Doki eventually, right? We got Kush the God back on the match somewhere here. So, he's somewhere in the atmosphere. So what I'm calling for is Doki wins his match against Sho, and at some point down the road to legitimize Doki as the IWGP Junior Ace, he gets. I don't know why they would do it with Doki and not do it with freaking what the hell? Who did Doki beat? God damn, man, my memory.
El Desperado.
Why not do it with Despy? I don't know, but Despy did have the injuries, so he had to take some time off. Yeah. But it is what it is there. I just see it, man. I see Doki versus Kushida down the road, man. I just see it. I see it, dog. Just to cement himself, and he gets those defenses that Desperado didn't get, and or we get the return of El Desperado. That's all I'm saying. So
Despy was announced for historic crossover.
Yes, he was.
Big tag team matchup. He's going to be teaming with his spiritual wrestling sister, Starlight Kid, to verse Zack Sabre Jr. and Micah, the G1 winner, teaming up with the 5-star Grand Prix winner. That's a big tag team matchup, and it shows that New Japan Pro Wrestling believe in El Desperado as a draw. I think we're going to get multiple returns. I think we get the return of Despy.
No,
I think we get the return.
You can't be calling for that. Not yet.
You get the return of Yo.
Okay.
And we get the return of the way to the Grandmaster, Master Wato.
Oh, man. All the crap we used to give Wato those years ago. And we love him now. Pro wrestling, folks. Pro wrestling.
I just want to see this happen. Because I think if they build another 4-way match, then there's no chance for Hiromu to get stuck in the junior heavyweight division again.
Good point.
So let's bring all these guys back. Let's bolster them up. Let's build them up. Whether they're going to be in World Tag League or not, we'll see. But I think that is enough guys for Doki to be distracted with, and deal with as he built his IWGP Junior Heavyweight title run. I like the way they built it with him beating the stalwarts of Hiromu, Despy, and Ishimori. And I think he's gotten the win against his former tag team partner Kanemaru at Destruction. He finally overcomes Sho here. and then he faces the demons, his other past vanquishes of Yo and Master Wato and El Desperado.
I think it makes the most sense, man. It makes the most sense to do it that way because Hiromu's not in the picture right now. Making Show champion again just makes no sense to me right now, at least. And like you said, man, we got to see some returns. Maybe Despy returns. Like you said, I think it's more plausible of a Yo return than Despy now, just because of the timetable aspect of it all. And
I would think that Despy has to be on his way back if they announced him for a historic crossover.
Because I think historic crossover is like in the middle of November, right? It's not the beginning of November. Yeah. So I think he's probably still on the mend, if anything. So he should be due back by then. I can see Yo on the comeback. Yeah. I think that'll be a strong way to do it. I don't know if Leo Rush still has his strong ties to New Japan. That can be something else that they can throw Doki's way, as well. So yeah,
I wouldn't mind Leo coming back for Super Junior Tag League to team up with Yo.
Exactly. They were at that when they teamed together. They were incredible, man. It was interesting to see that Junior Tag League, how they randomly threw them together and they meshed so well, and they had some of the best matches that Tag League season. So I was like, you know what? Why not? So I'm like that, man. But yeah, that's definitely something else. That's something different that they can do as well with Doki. Unless Mystico wins his match against Hiromu here, that's someone else that they can throw Doki's way as well.
And they did kind of tease that at what was it, Fantastica Mania, right?
Mm-hmm. So that's something else that they can do, especially for like historic crossover. I mean, I know it's for the men and the women, but you know, he's still an international star at the end of the day. So
and we had a title match with Shooter and Ospreay at the first historic crossover.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, I think that would make sense. But yeah, in all honesty, I don't feel like Show wins here at all. Just because it doesn't make any logical sense. Doki's hot, the fans love him. He's been having terrific matches. The reign's been really good. I say continue to ride that train until you can't ride the train no more. So, you know.
I feel you on that. Then we got for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship, David Finlay will defend against Hiroki Goto. These two men faced off in the G1 Climax 34 tournament in one of the more underrated matches in the entire tournament in Kurgan Hall. It was Goto who put the G in G1 as he picked up the victory over the Global Heavyweight Champion in a very thrilling bout in front of the hot crowd rallying behind Goto. The emotional moment post-match with Goto paying tribute to his kids, getting the victory for them. But since then, Finlay has been basically ducking and dodging Goto, if you will. He faced Goto's tag team partner in Bishamon, Yoshihashi, in a great match at Destruction in Kobe, picking up the victory there, while Goto beat one of the Bullet Club War Dogs and Gabe Kidd to gain some momentum after David Finlay basically tried to manipulate Gabe Kidd into believing that it was Goto who was responsible for Jake Lee's injury as of late. So a lot of storyline here going into this one in comparison to the other matches that we've discussed. I'm expecting this to be another great matchup. I feel like David Finlay has really hit his stride. He's not like 2020, 2021 Jay White, but he's early 2019 Jay White, where you saw Jay was putting it all together and about to become the certified cemented top heel in the promotion. That's where I feel like David Finlay is at. He's putting it all together since the G1, and he's finding his stride. And being against Goto here is another next step in that. What do you think about the matchup and the build to this one?
I'm going to do something or create a thread here that I don't usually create. SP3, so I want you to follow the breadcrumbs here for a little bit.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
So SP3, who have been the IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion since the inception of the belt? Do you recall who've been champion?
David Finlay, Nick Nemeth, David Finlay.
So 3 champions, None of them Japanese, right?
No.
So for the time being, we can say that the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship is the Gaijin belt for all intents and purposes, right? Maybe. I will never choose or should I would say I will never pick David Finlay to win a match. The hatred is that deep, right? I understand how good of a professional wrestler he is, what the story is, what he's doing for New Japan. I'm just never going to pick him to win a match. So I say we'll get our first Japanese global champion. We'll get
That's when you want to give me breadcrumbs and go on a thread. Like I'm supposed to be surprised.
Oh man, listen, I just wanted to pop you for a bit. But anyways, I feel it's time for Goto to hold some gold in the company for his career. How good of a job
former Intercontinental champion.
Listen, when's the last time we saw that strap? Years ago, because they damn well put them shits together to create one championship and all that jazz. Nah. Goto needs to be rewarded for all his years of service, for his duty towards New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he finally beats David Finlay, and it gives me satisfaction that the fake ass leader of the War Dogs goes down and doesn't win a match. Absolutely. I'm going with Goto for the win.
It's ridiculous. Your hatred of David Finlay is unbecoming, son. Unbecoming of you.
I never have claimed to be a journalist. I don't ever claim to be fair. I have a bias, and I will roll with my bias until I get to the grave. All right? That's all it's about.
That is fair. And then finally, let's talk about the main event, J-News, for the IWGP World Heavy. Oh, I don't. I think I gave my prediction. I'm going with David Finlay. David Finlay to retain. Finlay to retain. He's going to get his win back from the G1. But before we get into the main event, I wanted to ask you, who do you think should be the challenger for whoever comes out of this matchup? Do you think that we're going to get another title defense before we go to the end of the year with Wrestle Kingdom, maybe at a power struggle or the historic crossover? And then if we are going to get that other title match, who should that be? And then who should be eventually the challenger at Wrestle Kingdom?
So hear me out. For all intents and purposes, right? Did David lose to anybody else in the G1 outside of Goto?
Yota
Suge. But I picked Suge to win the television championship, so that's not happening.
Yes.
See,
me, the smart guy. I said Ren Narita. And then you don't have to have Suji win that title, because that I feel like that's beneath him. I think Suji should win the Global Heavyweight Championship, and that should be the guy who dethrones David Finlay.
That's interesting. I would gather to say, because I've never stepped off of the bandwagon, and it will give him something to do, and he would then be a mid-carder, but he's a former champion. I say, why not give a random shot to the one and only Sanada to go one-on-one versus...
He already faced him. David Finlay beat his ass.
I don't care.
That bum. I don't care. He might get a shot at the top title too. So.
Oh, that's true, because he does have that link to Zack. But anyways, in all honesty, I feel like if Goto wins, anyone can really challenge for the Global Heavyweight Championship at that point, because it kind of resets the title. But if Finlay retains, it's all up to whatever feud they're really having, right? The War Dogs have been feuding with the United Empire for a while. They haven't necessarily, like, if Jeff Cobb loses, I think Cobb can pivot to the global championship, if anything. If they want to do it that way. I don't see Okan in that picture per se, if he's still the King of Pro Wrestling champion. So I would say Jeff Cobb can step into that place against David Finlay. A lot of people, including myself, have been calling for David Finlay's idea, his breadcrumb idea, trying to lure the leader of the Bang Bang Gang back to New Japan. I don't necessarily know if that can happen.
That's Wrestle Dynasty.
The dynasty, as they say in other places of the world. So that'll go down that way. If that'll go, but for the time being, if Finlay retains, I see Cobb in that mix. I would see maybe Ishii for short term.
I wouldn't mind Ishii being like a power struggle challenge.
Yeah, maybe Ishii also for the short term.
And then I think Wrestle Kingdom. I think I'm going with my Yota Tsuji. Yota Tsuji is
there?
The guy that beats him at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah. But if Goto wins, it resets the whole line, and anybody can really challenge at the end of the day, which isn't a bad thing. Because there's no real heel outside of Finlay who can face off with Goto in that sense, right? If Goto wins the championship, unless they just do another rematch and make it a stip match.
I know one. Konosuke Takeshita.
Whoa. Listen, man, I ain't got nothing against Take, man. You know me. I'm a big fan. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. That is interesting. I just don't. I'm not as all jokes aside, as a long time New Japan guy, I'm not sure they'll ever giving him a shot at a title is not a bad idea, obviously. Yeah. But we all want Takeshita to win some gold somewhere at the end of the day.
Hey, I don't care what company it's for. I just want to see him win some gold.
I just don't know if New Japan will ever let him win one of their own championships. Being that, you know, it took forever. It took forever for them to put a strap on freaking Shingo. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't know if they'll put a strap on Takeshita, but yeah, man, I think it's interesting. Whoever wins this particular match, because I'm going with Goto. Like I said, if Goto wins, it resets everything. Anybody can really step into that particular arena and division. But if Finlay retains, you know, there's a way that they have to do this in order for him to get to Wrestle Dynasty. So yeah.
Agreed there. And then finally, yes, it's the main event. IWGP World Heavyweight Championship up for grabs. Tetsuya Naito defends against the winner of the G1 Climax 34 tournament, Zack Sabre Jr. It was ZSJ who pulled off the victory in the G1 Climax 34 tournament, becoming the first British-born wrestler to win the tournament and only the second Gaijin since Kenny Omega to win the entire tournament after defeating Shingo Takagi and Yota Tsuji on back-to-back nights in instant classics. And here was Zack Sabre Jr. who bucked tradition. The tradition is the G1 winner goes on to Wrestle Kingdom in January to challenge for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship in the main event of the Tokyo Dome. But he said, no. Ryogoku is my place. Ryogoku is my home. So I want to take my title opportunity the next time they were in Ryogoku after winning the G1 in Ryogoku. He said he wanted to win the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship in the same building in Sumo Hall. And that's where he wanted to take his opportunity. Meanwhile, Tetsuya Naito fought back against the challenge of Great Okan at Destruction in Kobe to retain the gold. And now he moves on to verse Zack Sabre Jr., the man that beat him in the G1 Climax 34 tournament. Can Zack get lightning in a bottle one more time and get a crucial victory once again against Tetsuya Naito to finally win the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship and only become the second British-born champion in the title's history? Or can Naito survive and continue to be the top star in all of New Japan Pro Wrestling? This might be the most important New Japan Pro Wrestling matchup of 2024. J-News, what have you thought about the build to this matchup? Who do you think wins on Monday?
You know, we've been working towards this, man. We've been working towards this. The story is there. The time put in, the sweat, the tears, the blood, it's been spilt. Zack Sabre Jr. is due for his coronation and then a reign like no other. So I would like to say that from a wins and losses perspective, I'm obviously going to go for Zack Sabre Jr. here for the win. As to how this match will look, we've always said that Zack Sabre Jr. can bring a good match out of most people.
Yes.
It has also been stated in recent history and recent memory that Naito just hasn't been getting it done in the ring. I don't necessarily know how good this match will be. And it's not because of Zack. It's tough to see what's happening to Naito in the ring. I don't know if it's just storytelling. I don't know if it's really the real. Because if this is a story, if everything that's been happening with Naito is really more of a storytelling element of what's going on with his body, then kudos to New Japan. But I don't think that's the case at the end of the day. Because your man's broken down, he's having sloppy matches, there's no real oomph to what's been going on with him as of late. It's just very nonchalant, but not in a tranquilo way, if you understand what I'm saying. You know? So yeah, Zack for the win. I just don't know if this match is going to be as good as it might have been 2 years ago, let alone now. So for happenstance and the sake of the company, the quicker you can get the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship off Naito, the better. And let's see where Zack can take the company from there. Yeah, I'm gonna stay there. I'm gonna stay there with my commentary.
Can't disagree with you at all. This is very, like I said, most important matchup of the year for New Japan Pro Wrestling, but it's also one of the most important matchups in both guys' careers. Because for Zack, this is the matchup that could be his crowning achievement, where he finally wins the top prize in New Japan Pro Wrestling after working so hard, coming to New Japan Pro Wrestling, and since he arrived in 2018, 2017, came into the company. And then for Naito, this is a crucial matchup because he has to prove that he can still be that top guy who rises to the occasion. He might not be able to do it night in, night out like he used to. The knees are broken down. The neck is broken down. His entire body has really broken down at times in crucial matches this year, whether it be against Jon Moxley at Forbidden Door or Great O'Khan at Destruction in Kobe. They haven't been up to snuff for what we expect from the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. This year, he has to be up to snuff. He has to rise to the occasion, because if he is dropping the title to Zack, you want to do that in a great match to end your reign on the right note. What could possibly be his final reign as IWGP World Heavyweight Champion after winning the title numerous different times. So this is a crucial matchup for the company, for both men, and for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Saying all of that, I gotta say, Zack Sabre Jr. to win this matchup. There is no other option. There is no other choice. This would completely ruin Zack's character if he lost here, because he's taking the title opportunity early and not on the big stage. So if you lose here, it's a strike against your character. It's a strike against you as a top star for this promotion. If they give you the title opportunity, saying that, oh, we don't want to give you the title opportunity here where you would lose in the main event of the Tokyo Dome. We want you to lose here in Ryogoku on a smaller show. That is a bad statement to make for Zack Sabre Jr., who can lead this company into their next era and be that transitional piece who drops the title to one of their young guys down the line. I think that Zack has to win here.
I agree, man, because he's going to be taking the spot that is supposed to be Naito's spot. He is the wily veteran who is going to give these younger guys these great matches to see if they're up to snuff in that part of the division. And if they're not, you'll be able to see it, and it'll just take a longer period of time for the younger guys to get back to get to the promised land and stuff like that. Because Naito can't physically do it. Zack can't. So at the end of the day, that's why I'm calling for Zack Sabre Jr. here for the win. I will never discount Naito's career, what he's done in the lineage of New Japan Pro Wrestling. But right now in 2024, it hasn't been good, man. It hasn't been good.
Yeah. It is what it is, but we're going to see what happens on Monday. I'm very much looking forward to this show. I'm still at an 8.5 for my hype level after going through this entire card. What do you think about the card? We want to know from you. So if you're watching us on demand, let us know in the comments down below your predictions on the card, how much you're looking forward to the show in Ryogoku Sumo Hall this coming Monday, October 14th. It will be available on njpwworld.com. Our boy Walker Stewart will be on the call alongside Chris Charlton. So a lot to look forward to. And me and J-News will be on the call come Monday. Monday around the same time, 1:05 to 1:05 p.m. Eastern time. We will be live here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel to review King of Pro Wrestling 2024 and either celebrate or having a funeral for Zack Sabre Jr. bringing it home. Either or, we will be here live. J-News, until then, let the people know where they can follow you on social media.
Hey guys, as per the usual, you can follow me on the socials, man, Instagram, Twitter, and all that at John LYFNMG. Catch me here on True Hill Heat. As SP3 said, I'll be back on Monday to do the review here for King of Pro Wrestling. We've also got the depending on timing and things of that nature, TBD on me doing the review for Wrestle Dream. So, but for sure, I'll be doing the review for King of Pro Wrestling, and all that jazz. Like, just catch me on the you see you see the handles there, the _JONJY on Instagram, at JohnLYFNMG on Twitter, /X, and Threads, and YouTube as well. So yeah, I'm hoping for the best for Monday. Because if it doesn't go down that way, SP3, if Zack Sabre Jr. doesn't win, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself, man. I don't necessarily.
We're going to be cursing out Gato on Monday.
Yeah, you know what, man? I'm usually not one for expletive laden tirades, but Gato might get one out of me, man. He might get one out of me. So. We'll see what happens.
Follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at True Hill Heat. Patreon.com/True Hill Heat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content, and it's the best place to support us when we are not live here. Like I said at the top of the show, we're coming with some new content over at patreon.com/True Hill Heat. So the best time to support us is now. Check out True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment, where we got content regarding entertainment, like your favorite TV shows. Power Book 2 Ghost Season 4, we just completed reviewing that over there. Check out all the great content we got on this channel, like me and J-News breaking down the card for AEW Wrestle Dream 2024 with our predictions. Already 500 plus views on that one. Let's raise it up, see how much we can get for that. So check it out before Saturday's show. Before Saturday, also check out the True Hill Heat flagship podcast from last Saturday, 297, and join us tomorrow live, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time, for our latest podcast, 298, with myself, Miss Chrissy Love, the True Jaw Josh, and special guest, Sat E. Nyangi of Wrestle Talk will be joining us for 298. Check out AE Ramble episode 167 from yesterday, our longest ramble ever, as we reviewed AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday, as well as WWE NXT, the Tuesday Night War, or more like the Tuesday Night Demolition, if you saw those ratings. But for J-News, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been our NJPW King of Pro Wrestling 2024 preview. We are signing off until next time.